Hello guys, and welcome to a new Steel Division 2 video today by me, Vulcan. In this video I have for you VonPaulus versus Shaun in round 2 of the first Steel Division 2 Championship. Today they are going to be playing on Sianno, and on the Soviet side we have VonPaulus using the 29th Tank Corps and the Maverick deployment type, and on the Axis side we have Shaun using the 78th Sturm and the balanced deployment type. Sianno isn't actually a map that we have seen yet. It's actually an interesting map with 4 contested areas which revolve around the crossroads. So we have the flag here and this crossroad, the crossroad in the town with the main road on the bottom side. Main road on the top side has a crossroad just here, and we also see the dirt road up here with its crossroad. And those are the 4 areas that are likely to be focused on throughout. However, on this bottom side there is a ridge that looks opposite to each other, creating this sort of little valley in the center. And what this allows either player to do is sit up in the light cover either side and protect the roads that push into these center points. And therefore what we're likely to see in this game is quite a lot of dead transports if either player is not paying too much attention to the AT positioning of their enemy. So let's keep an eye on that. But 29th Tank Corps, quite an interesting division, one of the divisions with an IS-2 available. IS-2 1943s are available with the 29th Tank Corps. Big unit, might not see it on the battlefield early on just because it's quite an expensive investment in the early game, but could be used to great effect to cover a lot of the open ground in the center. From the light cover up here you could control most of the open ground flags on the in the valley, which is something that the 29th Tank Corps would do well to take advantage of. But either way, let's have a look at some of the units that VonPaulus is putting down. So he's got 2 Ognemachiki, followed up by 2 Strelki and a Sapari on the bottom side. No AT here, so this is a little bit vulnerable. The Strelki do have the 300mm AT grenades at close range, but that's about it. Further up though, we do see the 76mm infantry gun. There's going to be a ZIS-3, as well as a motorazvedka in the M3A1 razvedka vehicle, and 2 Ognemachiki there. So that looks like the support weapons for this infantry on the bottom side. For the center, just a single unit of Strelki. That's to be expected. There's not really too much to be worried about in the center, and if a push does come through here, you have quite a lot of time to react to it because there's no road that pushes directly through the center of the map. Further up though, we do see a T-34-85 1943 supported by 2 Tanko Desantniki in the A1s, 2 units of Strelki and an Ognemachiki. Those are the 2-man flamer squads if you are unaware. And on the very top side we see the SU-57, a really nice recon vehicle, has exceptional rate of fire and decent penetration, so can certainly carve up armor if it is not dealt with quickly. It is quite a vulnerable unit though due to its lack of armor, only 20mm of frontal armor. 76mm infantry gun there, supported by a 45mm AT gun. We see 2 units of Strelki, Tanko Desantniki, and 2 T-34 76 1942s. These 1942 variants have a little bit of extra frontal armor compared to the 1943 variants, so that's what VonPaulus can take advantage of there. Over on the side of Shaun, he is using the 78 Sturm, and it's quite an elite infantry division. We've seen them previously. 2 units of Schützen here on the top side with a Commandant actually, as well as the Schützenführer. Black 43 from the start of the game, IG-18 and PaK-40, so 2 support weapons on the top side with a bunch of infantry. Further into the town we see Begleit Grenadiers following up a Schützenführer, so that's 2 units of Begleits there, and a Panzerbuchse to support. In the centre, just a unit of Flammenwerfer to push the front line, 2 Schützen unloading on the main road crossroads, and then we see a Schützen unloading early on the bottom crossroad with 2 Flammenwerfers pushing this forest here right into the face of 2 flamer squads from VonPaulus, another PaK-40 and IG-18 combo on the bottom side. So we do see the Tanko Desantniki getting really close here. They need to unload quickly. Oh, that's a massive loss though. Wow, VonPaulus messed that up big time. He allowed those half-tracks to get close enough to these squads that they could use the 60-meter grenades that every infantry squad in the game has, and managed to just crush those very quickly, killing one of them before the Tanko Thessaloniki even unloaded. So big losses there for VonPaulus, which cedes this point to Shaun in the early game. On the top side, IGA Team Pack 40 combo are taking care of a lot of the armor here. The M2A1 is going to get crew killed, so the Pack 40 and IG's change to HE, and they're going to be pinning down the Strauki and Tanko Thessaloniki as they try and push forwards. Now the two 1942 is going to be pushing up, but into the face of the IG-18 and Pack 40 combo, that is not a place where the 1942s want to be, the T-34s there, because they will die very quickly indeed. Pack 40 and IG-18 on the bottom side get the better of the ZIS-3. That is probably going to go down with the next couple shots from these units. We do see Zhuchok coming in. Shaun's already covering that off with the Flak 43, and if Zhuchok goes down, that's a rather costly investment, which has not paid off at all. Doesn't kill either the Pack 40 or the IGA team, but this is a very interesting unit. It has the 20 mils underneath it, as well as 420 mils in the nose, and it can chew up ground support vehicles, or ground support weapons, sorry, very quickly indeed. But the Flak 43 doing its job very well there, does defend those support weapons from attack. Now we see the Ognemechiki trying to get the better of the Schutzen, pushing the main road crossroads here. And, well, as long as they keep firing, they will eventually be able to pin and maybe surrender those units. But Shaun's not going to let that happen. Tells them to retreat sooner than later. I think VonPaulus would do well to chase that engagement and try and find the surrender. Not going to happen this time around. The Begleit Grenadiers here, 3-star veterancy. Schützenführer providing that extra veterancy with the help of the Commandant. We are using the special viewer, so we can't see the leader connection there. But they make short work of the infantry squad in the trees, and that's going to open up a lot more ground for the Begleit Grenadiers to take control of. Meanwhile, on the top side, Schützen versus Strauki at range. Strauki do really suffer just in all engagements. They're very cheap squads. I think they only cost 20 points, yeah. But they have 9 Mosin Nagants and the DP machine gun. So very lackluster in comparison to the 2 MG42s that Schützen have, as well as any MP44s that the Begleit units have. The more Schützen are arriving on that top side to reinforce that push, but currently it's 13-11 in favor of Shaun. But overall, I'd say that Shaun has a pretty nice advantage here due to his infantry engagements going much more in his favor. So we've got 2 more units of Tanko Thessaloniki now pushing down towards this town. The infantry gun is going to be engaging the Schützen as well, so there's a good opportunity here for the Tanko Thessaloniki to get the better of the Schützen, but he doesn't want to unload them too early, because that is a way for the Schützen to take advantage of the Tanko Thessaloniki. Here, just pinning these down and then rushing forwards with an M2A1 with the Tanko Thessaloniki inside would be perfect, but looks like the infantry guns got the job done regardless, so VonPaulus taking back some ground there and will allow his Tanko Thessaloniki to dig in. T-34-85 moves forwards on the ridge. I mentioned that these hills on either side can be used to gain an advantage, and that's what VonPaulus intends to do here, but up against a Pack 40 does need to be careful. Stug 3 now coming in as well to hit the M2A1s as they push on past the town. 3 units of Flammenwerfer coming down the main road on the top side. They're going to be looking to solidify their engagement with the Tanko Thessaloniki, although saying that, big old salient coming through here from the Begleit Grenadiers, and these Flammenwerfers are actually heading down toward the position of the Strauki. So a push towards the center of the map from Shaun, which may catch VonPaulus off guard, because on a map like Sianno, where none of the maps really lead, or none of the roads really lead to the center directly, a little push like this could certainly make some ground. So Pack 40 and Stug 3 take care of the other half track there. 2 more Schützen have been purchased. Take back this ground. Begleit Pioneer is on the field. These are one of the most deadly infantry squads in the game. Very, very scary to deal with. 9 MP44s, machine gun, MG42 that is, and a 3 G43s and the HE grenades at close range. Schützen now on the bottom side engaging with their 2 MG42s, and yeah, Schützen very, very scary squads to deal with, and with this high veterancy, especially in the town, they might be able to get the better of the Tanko Thessaloniki here. That's a big light grenadier. They do have the MP44s, so may do a lot of damage with them. The Molotov has already been used, so you can see here how quickly the Tanko Thessaloniki are being pinned in that engagement. They are, of course, outnumbered as well, so that doesn't exactly help. The triple Flammenwerfer here takes care of the Strelki, and that's going to open up the center point in the town here for Shaun for the time being. Now, back at the spawn, we do see 2 F-22s being brought in from VonPaulus. They also have been brought in by the supply vehicles, which is quite a costly investment. That's going to be, I believe, 20 points for the transport plus 60 points for the F-22. So he's paying 80 points for each of those artillery pieces. And those artillery pieces are lackluster at best. Stug 3 going to be engaging the 76mm. The T-34 1943 has been forced back for the time being, so that won't really be pushing forwards. I'm not sure if it would matter so much. I guess the PaK-40 would be able to kill the T-34-85 from range, but we'll have limited penetration without any APCR and a little bit closer range. IS-2 Komroti is on the way now for VonPaulus, and that's sitting in the same position when the T-34-85 was, will have immense pressure on the bottom side of the map. But we've got to pay attention to the top side, as it looks like Shaun has broken down the defenses here. We see burning T-34 wrecks everywhere. The Su-57 went down early on. We saw a lot of this infantry die. We see another unit here that's dead. Going to be a burning jeep, with the Schützen just continuing to push through, and those reinforcements coming up there is really going to seal the ground for Shaun, make it very difficult for VonPaulus to push back through. And the use of the T-34-76 1942s is a good choice, but he's definitely going to need some more infantry if he wants to try and take care of these Schützen. Because the Schützen, they have AT, but it's only close range AT. So T-34 1942s can really sort of hunt down and kill off these Schützen and get quite close without having to worry too much. And due to Shaun's composition of infantry, that will remain the case. It's only when the PaK-40 and IG-18 got involved that a lot of the armour got shot down, and that's now been left behind. So there's potential here for VonPaulus to make back some ground, but this PaK-40 in a lovely position here, looking over the sort of lake, I guess. And that is going to be able to cover the main road, but the 1942 T-34s aren't going to be pushing into that just yet. The light grenadiers here did get spotted previously by the M2A1 half-track, so maybe VonPaulus is going to go and hunt them down since they don't have any AT at all. Also, the Flammenwerfers in the town, they have the potential to be overrun by those T-34s, grabbing VonPaulus back his 2 flags, or 3 flags, in the centre that have been lost so far. For the F-22s, they're going to try and kill off the IG-18 and PaK-40 here, but you can see the dispersion on those F-22s just really doesn't work out too well. Stug 3 pops another T-34-76, and well, I mentioned how these T-34 1942s would be good versus the infantry that Shaun is using. However, they're not so good against the Stugs. The Stugs are great counters to things like Shermans as well as T-34-76s, but it looked like there Shaun decided to bring in a fighter, but both of the A-20 Zuchoks targeted it and just shot it down with the 20mm very quickly indeed. These are great for pinning down infantry very quickly. They don't do as much damage as they used to infantry. They still do a lot of damage to support weapons though. Look at that beautiful aircraft. Yeah, the IS-2 getting into position. It's going to be doing really well from that position for sure, and it's going to be hard for Shaun to push because of that. But I would say that VonPaulus needs to be careful that he doesn't let his IS-2 ever run out of ammunition. Otherwise, that's where Shaun could end up pushing up once again. So we see a Flamer unit come into the town here, the Ognemechiki. They do manage to share the same building as the Flammenwerfer of Shaun, but the flames there working out in favour of Shaun. Ognemechiki go down, massively outnumbered. Schützen move up, kill off the unit in the light cover. SU-57 going to be engaging with the HE shells now. Now the two Zuchoks come in to pin down the Begleit and the Schützen. Ultimately, VonPaulus needs more infantry. And we have just moved into phase B. Maybe what happened is VonPaulus ran out of infantry availability in the early game. That's very possible, considering Shaun's infantry engagements have been pretty much on point so far. Schützen are going to unload the Superdi at range as well, which is perfect for Shaun, because the Schützen defeat Superdi at range. DP-28s really aren't very good machine guns. Superdi do okay at the 500 meter range when they can use their SVTs, but that's about it. Well, we do see an engagement between the Stug on the top side and the T-34-76s further down. The Stug 3 has a pretty nice advantage at this range because it has the 135mm of penetration on its main gun compared to the 100mm on the 1942. Oh, and the Panzerbuchs are there getting the crew kill crit onto the T-34-76s. Well, that's going to neutralize them in the center of the map. We see the T-34-85 engage the Stug from range. T-34-85 definitely has the advantage against the Stug 3 at max range. SDKFZ-71 has been purchased for the bottom side to help with Zuchok. So the Me-109 G6, I'm not a massive fan of these fighters. I feel like they lack firepower compared to the G6R6 variant. But they are useful for finishing off aircraft that are forced back by AA. So that's what we're probably going to see here, unless Zuchok can get out quickly enough. These A-20s are pretty fast. So the Pak-40, that's now firing some HE at the Strauki that have come into the center. We see the Strauki DP. These have 9 SVTs and 2 DPs, so they deal with enemy infantry a lot better at the 500 meter range than any other infantry on the Soviet side. But meanwhile, on this bottom side area, the IS-2 hasn't been able to really hold back the infantry at range, and the Begleit pioneers have just pushed through into these trees. Now it's a little bit of a risky position for Shaun to put his Begleit pioneers just because they don't have any AT. So ultimately Shaun's going to be reliant on pinning down these units and surrendering them than he is actually attacking them directly with the pioneers. Well, we have Nashon Nigel on the field. He's going to be using that to potentially pop the IS-2. Now the 78 Sturm is one of the few divisions that has the ability to pop an IS-2 in the front armor using things like the Nashorn and also the Pak-43s. There aren't many divisions that have access to Nashorns, and that 230mm of penetration is certainly very useful. So what Shaun's likely to do on this bottom side is just give that an attack move forwards, let it pop the IS-2, then move back into cover as soon as it fires so the Nashorn can reload. Because without extra veterancy, the Nashorn does have a pretty limited rate of fire. But here we go. Nashorn Nigel gets the tracks broken. That is nasty. It leaves the IS-2 in a very, very tough position. Looks like Shaun's just going to commit to this engagement as the Stug 3 fires away rapidly towards the IS-2. The IS-2 doesn't even have time to reload before it goes down to the second shot off the Nashorn. That's going to open up the flag on the bottom side. It's currently 19-5 in flags in favor of Shaun. This is a massive disparity. But we have moved into phase B. VonPaulus is on the Maverick deployment type, so it does have a 180 points per minute. He's got a very short amount of time to find the victory, as there is multiple points taken over on this bottom side due to the loss of that IS-2. That's going to push it to a total defeat, and that ends the game very quickly indeed. Wow. 15 minutes and 53 seconds. Shaun comes through with a total victory over VonPaulus. 1,635 kills to 470 losses. Incredible stuff. Really, really well played from Shaun. Made great use of the infantry engagements to gain an advantage throughout that game. Took care of the armor very easily with the IG-18 Pak-40 combos. And those combination of the IG-18 Pak-40 are also great for pinning down infantry because they both have HE available for that role. So yeah, great job by Shaun to find those kills. We see the kills here from VonPaulus using the Ogdemachiki to kill some Flammenwerfers, but yeah, not too many significant kills. No single unit got more than one kill, and the IS-2 1943 killed one unit of Sturm before it got killed itself, and that is not what you want to see with a unit that costs as much as it does. Rather valuable unit that, and they can do a lot of damage against infantry at range because they have quite a lot of HE damage on their HE shells. But in this case, just couldn't find the kills and wasn't supported by enough infantry to stop the enemy infantry getting close, allowing the IS-2 to fire multiple shots at the enemy. In terms of losses, well, we can see the value that Shaun got out of his units. We've got the Begleit Grenadiers there. They are the ones that destroyed the M2A1s and the Tanko Desaniki in the center. A really, really good job there. IG-18 cleaning up the Su-57 and the infantry gun on the top side, as well as a Tanko Desaniki. Pak-40s perfectly used to clean up the T-34 76 1942s on the top side. This Pak-40 managed to get the T-34 85 1943 on the bottom side. The use of these 2-star Stugs has been quite prevalent in the games we've seen so far. Not something that I've really noticed much in my casual games, 3v3, 4v4, but that's mainly due to availability being more important in those games than veterancy, whereas in a 1v1, you want to get the most value out of your units as you can. So bringing them in at higher veterancy is more important. But this ME-109 G6 did manage to shoot down an LA-5FN. We did miss that. It might have been shown on screen, but I probably wasn't paying attention. But Naswan Nagel taking care of the IS-2 Komrotti instantly pays himself off, which is very nice indeed. So there we go. That is about it. Shaun making great use of the 78 Sturm, which is a very high tier 1v1 division, versus the 29th Tank Corps, a much lower tiered division because it has a lot of expensive units that are easy to punish. And in this case, we certainly saw that with the Nashorn being used to pick off the IS-2 1943. But that is it. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.